Now playing the Hook and Bridge podcast.
I fucking love Kesha. I'm telling you, I'm the worst person to have a podcast. I can barely speak.
Oh my god, I love this!
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hook and Bridge podcast. I am your host, Harley, joined, as always, by my co-host and little sister, Taylor.
Hello, hello.
So we took a week off because you were dying.
I still am, some would say.
We'll get into that here in a minute. You wanted me to start the show so that you could give your thoughts.
Oh.
I was, before the show started, singing a Matchbox 20 song.
Yes.
And
So
here
you
we
were
are.
singing Someday by Matchbox 20.
mhm.
So there is a movie. It is a it's called Zombies, I think. It's a Disney movie. It's for Disney kids. And I, whenever I was babysitting when I was in high school, babysat this brother and sister, and they were obsessed with this movie. I mean, it was on, I'm pretty sure, one whole summer, just all day. They're like, we have to repeat and watch this movie. Like, it's so good. So all of the songs then got stuck in my head because like they were kind of catchy. But anyways, they have a song called Someday, and when you said Someday, that's what I thought about.
That's funny.
And are we gonna get copyrighted?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
I'm gonna show you later then.
No, it's fine. Just don't
Oh.
make it like near the microphone. We'll be fine. This sounds horrible. This sounds so bad.
So, the premise is there are two worlds, right? And one is with zombies and one is with like people, but they're kept separate. It's like a very like discrimination-esque movie.
Okay.
And then a zombie and a cheerleader fall in love.
It sounds like Romeo and it's just Romeo.
It's
and
Romeo
Juliet.
and Juliet, but with zombies and a girl.
This is dumb. This whole concept
And
is
it has
falling apart.
it has the girl from the blonde girl. Have you ever seen American Housewife?
No.
Oh, it's really
I don't
funny.
know what that is
I've only seen clips, but it has the blonde girl. That's the daughter from American Housewife.
Oh.
But yeah, no, that's the premise. It's pretty much Romeo and Juliet with zombies and cheerleaders, and it's crazy.
I got an intense haircut.
Yeah, show the world.
I'm gonna show it off just a moment. I'm gonna put my hat back on though.
You have a widow's peak.
Because I have not. I think I've always had a widow's peak.
You have. I
Yeah.
too have a widow's peak. It is genetic.
But I haven't. Full disclosure, I haven't showered yet today. So
Gross.
hair's looking a
Stinky.
little rough this morning.
I showered yesterday. My hair too is looking rough. I will talk about my hair problems when you're done talking about your
Well,
hair
I was just gonna say I think it's funny. So I've went so long without a haircut
Yeah.
that I told you and Lindsay yesterday at the store that my hair expanded the elastic of my hat.
Yeah.
So now all of my hats are too big.
So now we have to get Harley new hats, which is fine because
No, I
like
love this hat. This hat's perfect.
you need a new hat anyways. Have you seen the grease mark on your hat?
I have two of them. I have my blue one and my gray one. This one also has a grease spot.
That's gross. Like honestly, it's not
They just need washed, man.
about being greasy because I understand you're oily. I am too. So like I get it.
I'm an
but,
oily
like,
guy.
That's grody.
Yeah, they just need washed, man. I wear them every day,
literally
7 days a
every day.
week.
Your haircut looks great. I'm a big fan.
Me too.
It makes me want to get a haircut.
Shout out to
Sports Clips?
Sports Clips.
For the sponsor of the show.
Today's sponsor is brought to you by Sports Clips. No, they did a great job this
Mhm.
time. Last time, not so much, but this time, great job.
Big fan, big fan.
Taylor.
Yeah.
We would be terrible to not mention. So we're not usually this kind of show, but the world is divided right now. And
That's a crazy segue.
hey, we're going to get real serious for just a moment.
Okay.
The world's in a bad place right now.
Can I stop you really quick? 'Cause
Sure.
I know where you're going with this, and I think People will not find it as funny as you want to.
That's okay.
They're going to be like, these people, after everything that people are going through right now, are making a joke.
That's
And
okay.
like, I think it's funny. I
I'm
really
going for it.
love where you're going with
I'm
this.
going for it.
I'm just saying, be prepared. Do you remember the RIP t-shirt where people
Yeah.
were like, this is actually terrible. Like,
Yeah.
how dare you?
That's all right.
I love the controversy.
That's okay.
Anywho, go ahead.
So the world's in a really bad place right now.
Yeah, terrible place.
And everyone is divided. It has become,
There are
I mean,
two types of people.
it's front page news at this point. You can't turn on a TV or look at your phone without seeing one side versus the other. So it's gotten to the point where we have to talk about it legally. We've got to talk about it.
It is a legality.
And the controversy is that there are two types of people.
Yep.
Green people and orange people. Starbucks versus Dunkin'. The world needs answers.
Oh, you're not going to like the answers.
World needs answers, my guy.
Because I did a poll on both my Instagram and the podcast's Instagram. The podcast is at Hook and Bridge Podcast. And if you want to follow mine, it's at Cornell3405. However, mine is private, so I could decide if I let you in or not, which I think is a beautiful thing.
Well, so I also put it up. You put it up on our Instagram. I put it up on our YouTube page. And
I didn't know you could do that on YouTube. That's kind of sick.
Yeah, so we have a poll running right now.
But how many people? There was one vote.
Yeah.
Was it you?
So far.
There's
only
you.
one vote so far.
It was you.
But listen, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Do you want me to go make it 50-50?
No.
Okay.
The answer right now is inconclusive. We're going to jump back into it later in the show.
Oh, but I want to tell you where the polls are at right now.
Well, tell me. I want to know. We're going to update throughout the show.
On our podcast Instagram, 60% voted for Dunkin'.
60%.
40% voted Starbucks.
40%. Those aren't bad numbers.
They are not. Now, that is a total of 5 votes.
Okay.
On my personal Instagram, and mine has not been up very long. It's only been up for about 15 minutes, but 75% voted for Dunkin'.
Okay.
And 25% voted for Starbucks. And the poll is, please settle our debate. Dunkin' iced coffee versus Starbucks cold brew.
Yes. That's what I put on YouTube as well. Dunkin' iced coffee versus Starbucks cold brew.
And do you want to know something that I find interesting?
I'm ready.
So Dylan's sister loves Starbucks. She is a Starbucks girly. However, she voted Dunkin'. So I'm wondering, because I just checked because her boyfriend loves Dunkin'. I love Dunkin'. Dylan is indifferent.
Wait, who is this again? This is Dylan's sister?
Dylan's sister.
Sounds to me like Dylan's sister knows that you like Dunkin' and wanted to vote in favor of you. Sounds like there is some
bias.
Some bias going on.
I assure you don't know her personally, but that would not be the case.
It, to me, seems like somebody's interfering with the election.
I think she prefers Starbucks refreshers. I think maybe that's what it is. So when you're comparing the coffee, I think maybe she prefers the Dunkin' coffee, but the Starbucks refresher, if that makes sense.
This is where I wish that we were doing a live show. Because,
for everyone to raise their hands.
Well, no, because I want to give my take, which would heavily influence the decisions being made. So let's compare. First of all, this is the Hook and Bridge podcast. Yeah. We are a music show. Later in the show, we are. Later in the show, we have an incredible list. Something that I'm surprised we haven't done before. We've got the top 10 70s songs, according to Forbes magazine.
You know what I think is crazy? Sorry, Forbes magazine is great. I believe that Bruno Mars and something had a song about I wanna be a billionaire. So freaking bad. I was gonna say Travis Barker, and I knew that was wrong.
Travis McCoy.
Yeah, I knew it was
Bruno
Travis
Mars.
something. Yeah. Anywho, I think it's crazy we started the show talking about me dying and then like didn't
We're gonna
discuss.
get there.
Okay, I was
We're
gonna say
gonna
we
get
just
there, yeah.
didn't discuss.
There's just
further.
so many stories.
So
to
many
tell.
things
There's
happened.
so many things that have happened.
Okay.
So as far as my influence,
Yeah.
let's talk about the difference between the experience
Mhm.
that you get
Mm.
going to these establishments.
Can we pause for a minute though? Because I know what you're going to say. And I know we're going to talk about our experience, and I agree. The place we're going to talk about is crazy.
I'm
and what
talking in
happened.
general. We're going to get to that specific story, but I'm talking about your experience in general between the two.
Okay.
There is a level of service difference that is
I
unpar.
disagree.
Oh, you're crazy.
I'm not, but I think for the same reason. I have been to one of the bad coffee places, and I had a bad experience and did not go back because it was terrible and it made me feel some type of way. But I know what you're going to say about the personalization of service.
I mean, there is a personalization.
However,
aspect for sure.
you also go to one place 4 times a day.
Nope. 3 different Starbucks.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I'll explain why here in a second.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So Starbucks
Mm-hmm.
is known for next level customer service. They care about the customer, the consumer, to the point that they have impressed me in every sense of the word. So there are 3 Starbucks that I go to on a regular basis. There's the one inside of Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter, for those of you listening around the world, is a grocery store. So there's a Starbucks that is located inside of a grocery store.
Kind of like a Barnes and Noble.
Sort of
but
like a
with
Barnes and
groceries.
Noble. But so you go there, right? And it's Starbucks. And it took me 3 times of going to that Starbucks before they knew my name, they knew my coffee order, and started having it ready. When they would see me walk in to go grocery shopping, they would prepare my coffee so that when I was finished, it was ready. To the extent of I was leaving one day after getting groceries, and they were like, "Harley, don't forget we have your coffee over here." You can't. I mean, you cannot compete with that. That's one. That's one establishment.
Okay.
Second one is just strictly a drive-through. Every morning, I go through the same drive-through. They know my name. They write little messages on my cup now.
Cute.
Yeah, it'll be like,
that's cute.
"Have a great day, Harley."
Yeah, that's cute.
Or like they'll put like one time they put like an inspirational quote.
Love that. To get you through the day.
And they write that on the side of the cup.
Yeah.
They have it ready for me.
Yep.
We're talking 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier.
I'm gonna let you finish the third one because I
Third
have
one
thoughts.
is a walk-in establishment. It is a standalone Starbucks. Same thing. They know my name. They know my order.
Standalone. Sorry, keep going.
They know my name. They know my order.
Yeah.
They are always charismatic. They call you out by your name. They ask about your day. They get to know you as a consumer.
Okay.
There is no Dunkin' in the world that I know that is like
I gotta
that.
make sure I raise my hand high enough before we turn into a different show.
Yes, Taylor.
So I agree that those are all beautiful things. However, I think your key word was regularly. So like, even when I worked at Pizza Hut, we would have irregular customers where we already knew what they wanted, what their name was. Well, I wasn't there like long enough. I was there for a year, but the managers before me like were really good with the names, being like, oh, this person, especially with college students. You know what I mean? The same college students would come in Friday evening and get the same thing, order the same thing. So we already know that order and we're like, we got you. Like, you want your regular, we got it. And I think that's great with being a regular customer. I think there's a lot of places that do that of being if you are a regular customer and you get the same thing regularly, you get that treatment.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the camera because sometimes I forget that.
No, you're a-okay. I have to turn this way because I can't hear out of this ear, so if you talk I won't hear it. So the second thing with the cup thing, I think that's great. But if it's like, if they put your name on it, they're like, oh, Harley, have a great day or whatever, that's awesome. But then also like just writing messages on the cups. Some people and I love this either way. I think it's a beautiful thing. But there are some workers that will fill out like a bunch of cups with like cute things for people, you know what I mean, to give
Sure.
out. And I think that everyone should be doing that anyways. I think that's so sweet, and that really does give. I would want to go back if I received a cute message on my cup. I would want to go back. What was the third one?
The third one was the standalone location where they know me as a person. They ask
Okay.
about my life. They know the show. They know you guys. Like, yes, Taylor.
So when I worked at Bath and Body Works,
Mm-hmm.
and so different people will say this for different things. I love getting to know people. If I am working as a cashier, I will ask you all kinds of questions. I want to know everyone's drama in their life, right? There are other people who are like, oh, well, that's just a sales tactic. You know what I mean? To make you
Sure.
feel some type of way. And I understand
It
that
works.
too. Mine isn't a sales tactic. I'm nosy.
Mhm.
Like, there's a difference. But when I worked at Bath and Body Works, we would do that same thing. We would like, well, we had to ask for the name anyways for rewards, but we would be like, oh, how's your day? Like, what are you doing today? What are your plans? Oh, if you're going to work, what are your plans after work? You have anything fun happening this weekend? Like things like that, right? And there were also a lot of customers, depending on the vibe, some customers didn't want to be bothered, but there were customers that would give me their whole life story. I had a customer tell me about how her baby daddy was in prison and she was raising his daughter.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. It was a beautiful story though. Like, not gonna lie. I was like, that is good for you. Anywho, and when we would have like the buy online, pick up in store orders, we have to fill out like a card with like the number, the name, and all of that good stuff. And for people who we would have regulars of who were buying things weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it was, we would write more personalized like things. You know what I mean? Because we knew more about them. So I agree and I disagree. I agree in the sense that you are a regular, right? Like, you're a regular at all three of these places. So you deserve that personal touch with everybody because you are spending money there almost every day, right? Like, at one of those locations, you're spending some sort of money. So I think that you absolutely agree to have that you should have that personal touch. And like, being a regular, that's like, not saying that's what you deserve, but like, that's what you deserve, right? Like, but for me, if I go to a Starbucks, I do not get that same level of personalization. Do you see what I mean? Like,
Well, so can I rebuttal?
Yeah.
Okay. Regular in the sense of like, I have gone to these locations more than once. The one at Harris Teeter, it's hit or miss. Sometimes I go there, sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? But if they see me walk in, they start that preparation.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But we're talking. I went there for the first time today in 4 weeks.
But
you know what I mean?
But they still know you. Like, you walked in,
Right,
they're
right.
like, okay.
But as far as the other two, the standalone location I went to for the first time since taking my new job on Friday. So that's been 3 months.
Yeah.
The other location I go to every single day.
Yeah.
But my argument on why Starbucks is better is even on your first visit, they're going to treat you a certain way, a certain level of that, like, hey, what are you getting into this week? That basic, like, salesy, get to know you at the window.
Never had that happen at Starbucks. With that being said, I think the Starbucks that I go to just sucks. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the workers there, and like, that's my thing, is like, I think it's based per location. Like,
and this was going to be my rebuttal, is that I have also been to an equal, if not more, number of Dunkins
where you don't get that,
because I always get Lindsay coffees.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always get you coffee.
That Dunkin', I feel like, isn't even, we can't even put foot debate.
Exclude,
like, because that Dunkin's crazy.
Exclude that Dunkin'.
Yeah.
I've been to a bunch. We went to that one when when I picked you up from the airport.
Yeah.
No person. No. It was
because they're just trying to do their job.
They just want to get you out of there.
And I don't hate that. Like, especially if I'm going through a drive-through, I don't want to sit there and have a conversation if I'm going through a drive-through. You know what I mean? I want to, hey, how are you today? Here's your food. Have a good day.
And again, we've only established the service aspect of these locations. purely quality of coffee is
Can
not
we
even a
listen?
discussion.
Okay, so can we talk about this real quick? First of all, I want to talk about my bad Starbucks experience, and
Yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
talked about this multiple times.
We're 20 minutes in.
You know, it is what it is. I went to a Starbucks, and whenever I was working at Bath and Body Works, because they were like beside each other, well,
Mhm.
on the opposite side, but like near each other. So I went to a Starbucks, and they flipped over the thing to give a tip. And one thing you need to know about me, and I don't care if this gets me hate, I'm an anti-tipper. Unless it is a delivery driver or a waitress, I'm not giving you a tip.
Okay.
Like, I don't tip at Starbucks. First of all, when I was working at Bath and Body Works, they were making more money than I was.
Can we break this back down?
Yeah.
Because now I have questions about your anti-tip.
Okay.
Hairdressers.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. No, actually, let me rephrase that. If you are commission based, so hairdressers, nail techs, things along those lines, like if I am getting a service based, I don't even know how to explain it.
Let me think of it in this
Yeah.
term. You're against tipping at drive-thrus.
Not just that. No.
What's another instance where
Every time I go into Crumble Cookie, they try to get me to tip them, and I'm not tipping people at Crumble Cookie.
Yeah.
So like food, like if it's
I consider that sort of like a drive-through. I mean, I guess, it is.
But it's one of those things. I think in America, we have gotten so big into tipping to where everybody is now asking for a tip. And like,
if you can go to the Patreon, $5 a month.
That's our tip.
Tip.
But like, no, it's one of those things where everyone is asking for a tip, and it's exhausting. And I am very generous with my money. Okay,
Sure.
like I'm always donating. We can't talk about it. I'm always donating to like
This
charities.
Makes me look super professional.
Cleaning your glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am always tipping at charities. If I go through drive-through, they're like, "Would you like to round up?" I'm like, "Absolutely." Like, would you? If you know what I mean. I'm always doing that.
See, I'm anti that.
See, and now here's my thing. I think that you get what you give out. You know what I mean? So like, I am always for like giving to charity. However, if I go to one more establishment where you are making more than minimum wage and you are doing like a basic job, I'm not tipping you for that. I didn't get tipped when I worked at Bath and Body Works. Why would I? That is my job. I do not tip accountants. That is their job. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, where does the tipping stop? Now, if you're making below minimum wage, so like a waitress, a pizza delivery driver, absolutely, I'm going to give you a tip because I think that's crazy that they don't make minimum wage. Or if I am getting a service that is commission based, so going to a nail tech, going to get your hair done, you know what I mean? If I don't get my lashes done, but if you get your lashes done, things like that, I am going to tip you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the corporation, like I'm not tipping the cashier at Walmart to check me out. Do you see what I'm saying?
Hey,
like sorry,
great,
I'm
man.
like, I'm so like anti-tipping in that sense that like I think it's ridiculous. Where was I going with this? Oh, when I went to Starbucks, they turn around the tip machine and I hit no tip because I'm not giving you a tip to hand me my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Instant attitude change. And that is where I was like, I don't want to do Starbucks anymore. And I know it probably was just that girl, but it was like that instance where
one experience can
one
turn you around.
experience. Exactly. So I was like, you know, me tipping you should not change the basic service.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're going through a drive-through, it is, if you are working a drive-through, and I have worked drive-throughs, it's basic etiquette. Hey, have a good day. Like, hi, how are you today? Here's your food. Have a good day. Like that basic, right? Like that's just what you do.
Have I ever told the story on here about when Lindsay and I went to the mall to we went and got food? This was like so long ago. We went to Charlie's, the cheesesteak place to get food. And the guy said, "Hey, how's your day going or whatever?" And Lindsay said, "Good, and yours?" And he goes, "Oh, horrible."
Love it.
She goes, "I'll have," and just skated over. Right?
No, that's my favorite. I love when people are honest.
Guy looked at me like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, my bad, dude.
She-
Sorry that you're
she's-
having a bad day.
on a one, and I get it because like sometimes they're just on a one track mind.
Oh, it was so funny.
No, that's so funny. I love that though. Like if someone's like actually not great, I'm like, girl, what's wrong? You want to chat about it? Like I'm off in 15 minutes. Do you need to talk?
I like when I tell people to have a good day at work and they tell me, don't tell me what to do.
I have started telling people to have a day that they deserve.
Oh,
And
that's
I started
good.
doing that at Bath and Body Works
That's
because we had some nasty customers and like I don't know. I'm just not meant to work with the public. Like I think I'm a very nice person,
Mhm.
but like everyone has their like, you know, especially when you've been working 12
Right.
hours.
To bounce back to your anti-tip
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Just for the public, the reason I am against the tipping for charities
Yeah.
is because I'm not informed. I could be completely fucking
Yeah.
wrong. I don't know. This is just my personal thing.
Mhm.
I don't know where that money's going.
That's fair.
And these charities that they usually use, you know, your St. Jude's, your Make-A-Wish,
Yeah.
it's always like these really big, broad charities that like, where is that extra 5
So
cents going?
I can answer to the St. Jude's one. 100% of it goes to St. Jude's.
Right. No. The money's going to the charity.
Yes.
The breakdown of there are so many people that get paid.
Yes.
You've got marketing people, you've got
Mhm.
doctors, you've got CEOs, you've got accountants.
So
There are so many people. It's become such a large scale operation that there are. A quick Google will tell us how many employees they have.
with like St. Jude's and like Ronald McDonald House and everything, their whole thing is like if your child is sick, and I think it's a beautiful thing that if you have to stay at that hospital, there is not a cost to you.
No.
Does that make sense? And
I don't disagree with the charity itself. Like,
no, I understand what you're saying though.
That it exists.
But I think like
5,000 employees.
5,000 to 10,000.
5,000 to 10,000?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, between 5 and 10,000 employees.
But
and all of those people get paid, you know what I mean?
And I understand that. And I absolutely get where you're coming from, but I think that places like that, even if they are paying their employees with that, they rely on their donations.
No.
Does that make sense? Like
I agree.
Yeah.
That's not my point. I agree. My point is how much.
And it could be that the donations only strictly go into a budget for
and again, I'm completely
I have no idea. I just know the two places that I will always donate to if it's I donate anyways. Normally, and let me rephrase this. Normally it's like rounding up 60 cents. You know what I mean? Like they're like, do you want to round up to the next dollar?
St. Jude's did $2 billion in 2020.
Yeah.
It has $5.2 billion in reserve since 2017.
Now, where does it give the breakdown of where the money?
It probably does. I don't want to jump super into it, but
because that's what I'm wondering.
Raised
is like
a record of $2 billion in 2020 and 2021. So like even at that, let's say half goes to the employees, right? So $1 billion.
Yeah.
1 billion
divided
by
10,000.
We'll say 5. That we'll go on the low side. We'll say 5,000 employees. That's $200,000 a person.
Yeah. Well, and it probably goes down too. So the doctors get paid more, and then it goes to like it trickles down. Right?
Sure.
Trickle down economics, as some would say.
It's still a giant corporation.
Yes. And I agree with that. But I also, when I think about that, I think about like the lady who was doing the stuff for breast cancer, and like all of her stuff was a lie. Do you remember that?
Same thing with that. Like,
and that's
breast cancer awareness charity.
Like that's my thing. And there are terrible people out there, and that makes me so sad for like other charities.
And I don't think any of them started off that way.
No,
I think that they've gotten too big and
like money
are like,
hungry.
I'm making, this is my livelihood, and they have to make their money. And I get that. What I'm saying is, if I go to the Dairy Queen and they say, do you want to round up for blank? If it's a local place, my answer is always yes. If it's, do you want to round up for the what's the local, like Salvation Army? Salvation Army? Yes. That's a community driven place.
I always
each community gets a certain money. that money I know is going into the
Yeah.
community that I live in. Like,
I don't think that I have ever been somewhere except for maybe the St. Jude's, because like I said, and it's always rounding up my dollar, you know what I mean, like
yeah, it's such a minute amount
that I'm like, I'm not going to miss that. Like, to me,
no, it's not even it's purely on principle, because
no,
I
I
think
get
of
it.
how many people say yes, right?
Yeah.
If 1 million people say yes to $1, that's $1 million.
But like for local places, like you said, I feel like a majority of the places, like when I go to Taco Bell, at least in Ohio, they have, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a charity for like the students in that town.
Yeah.
Like the money
Yeah.
goes towards like the high school and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great
I'm
thing.
into that.
Exactly. Or like at Pizza Hut, they do a thing for kids for reading.
I
right?
would
And-
rather every year take $1,000 a
And donate
year
to something.
and donate it to a community-driven event, not even a community.
Yeah.
Not even like an actual charity. Like
Mhm.
literally be like, hey, community, I have
Mhm.
$1,000 to give to
Yeah.
individuals that need it this year.
And I love that. I do
That's-
love the
that's
Salvation
what
Army.
I would rather do.
I always, like, when they're ringing their bell and everything, I always dig through my extra change. And I know it's not a lot, but like you
Mhm.
said, if 1 million people do that,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
But I always, for things like that, like I'm
Mhm.
Salvation Army, because St. Jude's does it too when they stand out and they like ring.
Mhm.
Like I put my, if you stand outside of a school or a not school, like a grocery store or something,
Shouldn't be standing outside of schools.
and you should not, and you ring a bell with a bucket, I'll put money in it.
Good to know. We're 30
We're
minutes
30 minutes.
in.
Sorry, that's like crazy discussion. Good discussion though.
You want to jump into the poll real
Yeah.
quick? Again, guys, we are a music show.
We are, and we're vibing, you know.
It's been a little bit since this
Ooh.
show. Okay, I'm listening.
On my poll, on
Uh-huh.
my personal Instagram, 88% said Dunkin.
How many people is that?
12% said 7 people.
7 people.
And 1 person voted for Starbucks. Who voted for Starbucks?
Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna add them.
What else we got?
Oh, hang on, I didn't switch. 71% on our Instagram voted for Dunkin, and 29 voted for Starbucks. 5 people voted for Dunkin, and 2 people voted for Starbucks.
Okay. Well, and then I've got 1 on my side for Starbucks. So,
do I need to keep a tally?
No, that's all right.
Okay.
No, we'll just keep it open. Let's jump into some music stuff. People are
Okay.
here for the music. You want to go over this list? Well, real quickly.
Yeah.
You have an ear infection and
Raging ear infection, severe ear infection, some would say. So
and you're at death's door.
we're not.
and
I'm not at death's door anymore.
We've pulled together. Speaking of charity cases, we've pulled together.
Yeah.
And I got you healthy.
Please donate to my GoFundMe.
And
You know,
here we are.
GoFundMe, I think it's a beautiful thing, but also
slightly scammy.
Scammy. Like, and sorry, we're not going to get back into it. That's a conversation we can have for another time. But like I personally know someone who scammed GoFundMe.
Mhm.
And I personally know someone who really needed the GoFundMe, and I was able to donate money to it. Anywho, yeah, so I had an ear infection, and this is so funny. You guys are going to be so mad at me because I had a little ear trouble, right? And I really felt like I just had some water in my ear. So I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. And I had eardrops and I only used them for 1 day, but I had eardrops that I was given by my doctor like 2 years ago. For there being like fluid in my ear. So I'm like using the eardrops or whatever. I'm like, oh, like, let's see. And it just kind of got worse, and like, it just wasn't getting better. So we went to urgent care, and they didn't take my insurance, which was a load of BS, but that's okay. Not going to get into that. So then we ended up having to go to the ER.
Mm-hmm. I
went to the ER for an ear infection, and like, it wasn't an emergency, but that was my last, what else was I supposed to do? Severe ear. I mean, so severe that I was given amoxicillin. Well, I think it's Augmentin. Well, I don't know. Anywho, I was giving one of those, and I was given a 7-day supply, and tomorrow's my last day, and I am not 100%. Like, I absolutely am gonna have to go back for another antibiotic, and I feel much better. Like I'm moving in that direction.
Mhm.
But 7 days was not long enough
Mhm.
because of how severe I let my ear infection get, to where I just can't hear out of my ear, which
Not
is
good.
not great.
Not good.
Anywho, and I forgot how bad ear infections are. Like, this is the worst ear infection one I think I've ever had, but also like miserable. I mean, I was down for the count. Like, my body felt awful. I was like so tired and achy
Mm-hmm.
and like moody. Like, I just wanted to sleep all the time. Like, anywho, we're feeling a little better though.
We're getting through it.
We're getting through it.
All right. So we have today the top 10 70s songs according to Forbes magazine. And I threw in an honorable mentions category. I think I'm going to keep that in from now on. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So without further ado, everybody, shut up. This list of music stuff. This list of music stuff. All right. So coming in, we have the top 10 songs of the 70s according to Forbes.
Interesting that that's number 10.
Yeah, this is in their order too. I didn't change their order. This is exactly how they had it.
Interesting.
So coming in at number 10, we have the song September by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Love. I listen to that song on repeat. September. I can play this on trumpet. If anyone
Great.
cares. This is all my jazz band was Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You, this is a great list. I forget sometimes how great the 70s were.
We should go back
for music.
Get me some bell bottoms.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Absolute 5. Earth, Wind, and Fire is fire.
I didn't know this song before I met Lindsay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We had him on the show, but Matt Newman loves an Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
He loves Earth, Wind, and Fire, Chicago, and
loves
Billy
Chicago.
Joel.
Yeah, we had a whole Chicago marching band situation once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, big old 5.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in at number 9, we have Imagine by John Lennon. Do you know this song? Is there any song that you don't know on this list?
Yes.
Okay. Don't say it.
Okay.
We'll get to it. But do you know Imagine?
I was going to say, I think that might be one of them.
Imagine all the people.
Oh, love. 5.
Living for today. Mm-hmm. You may say I'm a dreamer.
Copyrighted by John Lennon.
But I'm
Is
not
he dead?
The only one. Yeah, he's dead.
Oof.
He been dead.
Can't come after us. 5.
It's a good song. I mean,
I really like the 70s.
I'm not a big Beatles fan, as we know.
Yeah.
I am not a big John Lennon fan.
Yeah. I think the Beatles have some hits.
Sure.
Like,
this is
Blackbird by the Beatles. I love that song.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. It's all right.
I love that. Honestly, I'm gonna go put that on my Spotify.
Wings and learn to fly. Yeah, it's fine. I'll give this one a 3.
Really?
Yeah.
My boy's next.
I'll say when it comes to Imagine, my ratings on these are going to be based off of, is it in my rotation pool of songs on my phone?
Okay.
And Imagine is not.
No, that's fair.
September is. Superstition is.
I don't have any 70s on my phone. That's a lie. I have number 4 on my phone.
Number 4 I don't have on my phone. Number 2 I don't have on my phone.
Number 4, I couldn't listen to the song for a very long time.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
I'm very curious.
It's not anything interesting. Like, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, Superstition coming in at number 8. Did you rate John Lennon?
Yeah, I give it a 5.
Oh, okay.
Superstition, 5. I love Stevie Wonder.
I love this song specifically. And then Higher Ground. I like those two. Those are my 2 Stevie Wonder songs.
I'm a Stevie Wonder fan.
I like the sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love him as a person.
But I couldn't distinguish. Like, they all kind of sound the same.
That's a reason.
But I'll give Superstition a 5. I think this is a great song.
Number 7. Oh, sorry. We're still I should have been born in the 70s. I'm really mad that I missed out on the 70s.
Great songs.
I love the Brady Bunch.
I haven't said it yet, I don't think,
Okay.
on the show. But
Okay.
I've told Lindsay about it, and I think I kind of mentioned it to you.
Maybe, I don't know.
I want to take, so we have these books that I got that are the 100 greatest albums of different decades. This is the 70s, and I have the 90s, and I got the 80s in my Amazon cart right now. I want to do a show, a documentary, and have you film it called The Hunt for 100, where we go and hunt for vinyl records
Based off of this?
based off of these top
That's
100
fun.
albums.
You have this one.
Well, I would go through and basically any of the ones that I have,
Yeah.
remove that from the list, but we'll get to that at a later date. But
Can I say something?
sure.
You have never mentioned this to me.
Oh, okay.
I
You know.
love it. I love it, but it's never been mentioned.
It's a
to me.
super cool idea. I have a
Yeah.
whole list of rules that I talked to Lindsay about on
Yeah.
how to go about doing it.
Yeah.
But that's for a different time. Coming in at number 7,
Love.
we have Hotel California.
Hotel California.
that was
Not right.
Sweet Home Alabama.
It just felt right.
Hotel California by the Eagles.
I love the Eagles.
Eagles, one of the greatest bands of all time.
Like, and listen.
Let me prove it to you.
I need to say something on this show.
Sure.
So we joke about how I don't know anything about music, and I agree I don't. But it's in the sense of like, I know so many songs, but I can't tell you who they're by. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, I just love songs. I just love listening to songs.
I'm going to prove to everyone listening right now why the Eagles are one of the greatest bands of all time.
Yeah.
Inarguably, because you know more Eagles songs
That's
than
what
you'll
I'm saying.
ever
Than you ever
realize.
think. Like, that's what, like, and I'm like, oh, this is the Eagles? Like, that's sick.
Hotel California.
Love. Take It Easy.
Take It Easy.
Love.
Lion Eyes.
Love.
Can't hide behind your lion eyes.
Desperado.
Peaceful, easy feeling. Take it to the limit.
Love.
Love
Tequila
Will Keep Us
Sunrise?
Alive. Tequila Sunrise.
They're
come on.
Witchy
Life
Woman.
in the Fast Lane. Witchy Woman.
They're so good.
Heartache Tonight.
What's another
One of these nights.
Led Zeppelin is another one where I'm like, I don't realize how many Led Zeppelin songs I know.
But I honestly can say that like Led Zeppelin, I don't even consider one of the greatest bands of all time.
No, I'm just saying they're another one where I'm like, oh, I don't realize that
But
like I
there's-
know
the
those
list
songs.
is so much smaller than this.
Yes. Oh
You know
no,
what I mean?
the
Like,
Eagles are
There are just some bands that you just don't like Def Leppard.
Def
You know
Leppard. I know so many Def Leppard songs
and
without
everybody
knowing it.
does, and they don't even realize it.
Exactly. Def Leppard, Aerosmith is another one. I feel like I know.
Not you'd be surprised. Like
Well, I'm just saying, like when I listen to a song and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was Aerosmith. You know what I mean? But I know that song.
let's just look them up real quick. Don't Want to Miss a Thing is obvious.
Yeah.
Angel, Crying, Dream On,
Come Together.
Come Together. Well, Come Together is their cover of a Beatles song.
Well, theirs is better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, everybody thinks
Yeah.
that. But it's like there's really
yeah.
not that many.
Walk This Way. Why is Walk This Way not on there?
Yeah, that's
weird.
weird.
It's down there.
Oh, okay.
Why is it down so far?
Yeah,
it shouldn't
be.
be.
You see what I mean? Like
it shouldn't be that
their
way.
list isn't that great.
No, but like that's just
Dude
what I'm
looks
saying
like a
is,
lady living on the edge.
There's another, and I mentioned this before when we did our 4th of July episode and we were doing like patriotic songs, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize, or barbecue songs or something. I was like, I didn't realize that that's who that was by. Like there's so many songs where I'm like, oh, I don't realize.
Sure.
Anywho.
But yeah.
Aerosmith is so, or Aerosmith. The Eagles are so good.
Like I said, it's not even an argument.
Yeah.
You can look me in the face and try and argue. 7 Bridges Road. I mean, come on. The list goes on and on and on.
I'm gonna actually download some Eagles songs on my phone.
They're so good.
They're so
good.
So good.
So moving into number 7, it's a 5. Moving into number 6, we've got Time by Pink Floyd.
This is not the Pink Floyd song I would have picked.
Really?
But it's 70s, so I don't know if my song is from
Tell
the
me
70s.
what song.
Wait, stop. Don't talk to me for a minute. because I just forgot the name of it. It is my favorite Pink Floyd song. Oh, On the Turning Away.
Oh yeah, no, that was I think 90s.
So that's what I'm saying. To me, see,
That's
I don't
like
know
a
the time. Yeah,
late
that
Pink Floyd
is
song.
fun fact. My favorite Pink Floyd song.
Time is my second favorite Pink Floyd song.
Interesting. What's your first?
Money.
Oh,
I've always
Money.
really loved Money.
Ah, the cha-ching.
The guitar solo and
They're
the
so
sax
good.
solo is so good, but the solo in this
Yeah.
is I've said it so many times. It was ranked the #1 guitar solo for like 25 years.
Dare I say something?
Sure.
I think Pink Floyd might be my favorite band.
That's crazy.
Do you think so? Like I
think you don't know enough Pink Floyd songs
to
for that
determine. Well, yes, and I feel like I know a little bit from a majority of the albums. Do you know what I mean? And I just
a fun afternoon
really
for me is
love
sitting
Pink
down
Floyd.
and listening to The Wall from start to finish.
Yeah.
Uninterrupted.
Yeah.
Sitting down in an empty room and listening from start.
That's what
to
I'm
finish.
saying. Like I really
That's 2 hours of dedicated time to Pink Floyd.
love. Well, like I feel like Pink Floyd is one of the only bands. Like I have a handful of bands where like yes, I love Sabrina Carpenter.
Mhm.
She is not my favorite artist. Right? Like I go through rotations.
Sure.
Where I'm like, okay, I'm over this, right? Like and then I'll come back to it. But there are a handful of bands where I don't skip the songs. And I'm like, yeah, I think this is one of my favorite, like Matchbox 20.
Mm-hmm.
I have never gotten tired of listening to Matchbox 20.
Mm-hmm.
I love Matchbox 20. I would put that in one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, 100%.
Pink Floyd. I have never skipped one of their songs or been like, oh, I'm not in the mood for Pink Floyd. Even if it comes on the radio, I'm like, I'm going to listen to this all the way through because I love the music behind Pink Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they do so many awesome things musically.
I would honestly say that Sabrina Carpenter is your favorite artist.
I wouldn't, because there are other people that I listen to her for fun. Like, not for fun. How do I say it? Like,
I feel like when you're talking about your favorite band or artist,
yeah,
it's not just the music.
It's how much you know about them.
It's the fandom. It's like,
so
I'm invested in this person because of their music.
Yes. Well, mine's not because of her music. Like, that's my thing. I think she's a phenomenal actress. Like, I would love if she went back into acting.
So would you say she's your favorite actress?
I would say she's my favorite actress.
That's fair.
I would put her up there. But as a favorite musician, I think she's great.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think there's a time and place for her music.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get it.
Like, I have to be in the mood. Now, when her Short and Sweet album came out, I mean, I listened to the heck out of that. Like, I love that album. And I do know a majority of her songs, like, especially her older stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't consider her my favorite artist.
I mean, like Pearl Jam. I have a Pearl Jam tattoo, Pearl Jam sticker on the back of my car.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam is, they're in my top 5.
Yeah.
But they're like number 4 on my top 5.
So that's my thing is like, I would go and get a Matchbox 20 tattoo. Like, that's how strongly I feel that Matchbox 20 is my favorite band. We should get matching Matchbox 20 tattoos.
I'd love to get, I have a whole list of tattoos. I need an unlimited supply of money.
Well, we're going to discuss after the show. Anywho, Matchbox 20, Pink Floyd, and then you don't know this person, but Khaled?
Yeah, I do know Khaled.
Not DJ.
Yeah, no.
Like like R&B Khaled. Yeah.
You brought him up so many times on the show through the years that I've
I really love Khaled.
Yeah.
I really
he's
do.
really good. I think he's got a fantastic
It's
voice.
like, it's so soothing.
He's a very talented writer.
Talented, yes. Love. And I think I also love R&B. I think I've found my realm of like music, and I think it's pop and R&B, which is very interesting. Anywho, sorry. Continue on to the list. I was whole thing.
Pink Floyd is a 5.
5.
Coming in at number 5, we have Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
I don't know the song. I might know the song.
So Grandma loved Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Lindsay loves Fleetwood Mac. Specifically the Rumors album is like a fantastic one. It had Dreams on it, and Dreams was the one that I think became TikTok famous again. Like it got famous again. I saw like an article. This was a long time ago, like a year or so ago, where TikTok had made Fleetwood Mac famous again. So anyways, Dreams, I give it a 4.
I'll give it a 3. Fleetwood Mac is another one that I am always like, I don't know their songs until you play one of their songs. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
But I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I could do.
I like a handful. Let's just.
Yeah, like I could do without. You know, like they're fine. I love your keyboard. I love the clicky clackety.
So we got Dreams, Landslide, The Chain, Rhiannon, Go Your Own Way. You can go your own way.
Oh, that is a fire song.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know that was Fleetwood
Tusk. Mac. Don't Stop. I mean, Rumors was Songbird was on Rumors. Rumors was such a good album.
We already talked about how I feel about Landslide.
Yeah, Landslide's not. I mean, Landslide.
It's a beautiful
It's a
song.
great song. It's just so sad.
We already talked about why I don't like it. I can't listen to that
song. Let's check in on the poll real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Just curious. I'm still losing.
Should we say poll correctly?
Poll.
That's not right.
Pull.
Paul.
Push or pull?
Pull.
Paul.
Polly?
Want a cracker?
Love that Nirvana song.
4 on Fleetwood Mac for me.
3.
Coming in at number 4, we have Dancing Queen by ABBA. Where are we at?
67% for Dunkin on our story.
Okay, it's went down.
And then 33% for Starbucks.
Okay. There's still a chance, guys.
6 votes for Dunkin, 3 votes for Starbucks. And then let me see. 82% on
So that
mine.
also went down a little bit.
Yes, for Dunkin, and then 18% for Starbucks.
Okay. See, we're getting there.
We're getting a more
it's leveling
even.
Off.
Yeah.
Dancing Queen, I'm giving a 3. I'm not a fan of ABBA. I don't really care for ABBA.
9 people voted for Dunkin on mine. Only 2 for Starbucks.
Who are the 2?
Let me see. One of them you don't know, but I'm gonna add that on that. And they're a little problematic. Hello? Oh, interesting. 2 kids I went to college with voted Starbucks.
Shout out to those 2 kids.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of ABBA.
So my senior year, our marching band routine was to ABBA. And if you're listening and you're in marching band, or honestly in any sort of band in general where you're rehearsing songs, it's the same reason I hate Nirvana, right? That's I mean Nirvana just ultimately isn't great. Yeah, no, the grunge part, how do I say it? I can appreciate what they did. You know what I mean? But when you learn to play guitar, you just played Nirvana so much, and I was like, I can't do it anymore. That's how I feel about ABBA. We went through the routine. For some reason, my senior year, we went through that routine so much. And then we had to do it extra because I don't know if you remember, but I was injured during the first half.
Right.
And I also went for, I don't know, some crazy fair thing. I had to go not out of state, but far away to Columbus for this fair thing. So I missed a lot of marching band. So I had to do extra practice with this song.
Right.
So I just listened to it so much that now every now and then, it's on my Spotify, every now and then I'll be like, oh, because it takes me back to that, and I like that. But once you do a marching band routine, you can't, I don't know, I can't listen to music. We did a Latin show one year, and that's the only one where I was like, I can listen to these songs on repeat. And I think Earth, Wind, and Fire was on there.
Okay.
Yeah. Anywho.
So, what are we giving it?
It's a 3. It's fine.
Yeah.
Next one?
Coming in at number 3, we've got Stairway to Heaven by
Led
Zeppelin.
When I was obsessed with the song?
I do.
And
I
honestly-
also went through a period of obsession with this song.
I think I went through a random period of just like being obsessed with Led Zeppelin and Leonard Skinner
You were obsessed with wanting to wear my Led Zeppelin t-shirt, and I
all the
wouldn't
time
let you wear it
because I
you didn't
couldn't
know the
name 3
songs.
songs. Fun fact: I don't have it anymore. I think I got rid of it because it was worn through its years.
The Led Zeppelin
Yeah,
shirt?
it was falling apart by the time I got rid of it. But Harley finally gifted me his Led Zeppelin shirt.
Yeah, I got too fat.
And I wore that thing religiously. And like, when you wear a shirt so much that like it's a little stinky.
I like how, yeah, I do know.
Yeah. so like I
like
just had to.
how you don't even have to like describe the shirt because it's the Led Zeppelin shirt. It's the one
it's
everyone knows.
has.
Yeah.
And I would love another one because I love that shirt. But I remember I wore it when I was working in I was in college, and I was so worried because I worked with one kid who'd be like, name 3 songs. Like I worked with one of those kids.
Yeah, you
And I
texted me.
texted Harley and I said, I need a list of at least 10 Led Zeppelin songs.
No, you
that-
asked for 3, and I gave you like 9.
Yeah. And I remember being like, but they can't be the ones that everyone knows. Like I need like you know what I mean? Like in the whole Led Zeppelin songs.
So this is
So
what
that
I
I
was
could
talking
memorize.
about as far as like Led Zeppelin's catalog on why I don't consider them like one of the greatest bands of all time. I think they did amazing things. I think they're incredible. I think they're legendary.
Yeah.
But
I
as
think
far as
Stairway to Heaven is one of the most
well,
legendary
as far as
songs.
like recognizable tunes, when you
Yeah.
compare them to the Eagles just had a more recognizable
Yeah.
catalog. You have Stairway to Heaven is the big one.
Mhm.
Whole Lot of Love, everybody knows.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of love.
I don't think I've ever heard that song.
That's crazy. See, you've already proven my point. Immigrant Song, which is the one that everybody knows from School of Rock, where it's everyone for the longest time thought that was Ozzy Osbourne. It wasn't.
It has an Aussie sound.
It was Kashmir by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, I can do Kashmir on trumpet too. Who cares?
Black Dog is a great song.
I know that one.
Good Times, Bad Times is
I know that
a
one.
pretty recognizable one. Good Times, Bad
Bad
Times.
times, know I have my share. Oh, I love that song.
Ramble On is a great song.
That one's going
Ramble
on my Spotify.
Rock
Dazed
and
and
Roll,
Confused.
Dazed and Confused. Over the Hills and Far Away is a great song, but super niche. Not everybody knows
Yeah.
that one. Same with what is it? Dire Maker.
Yeah.
Communication Breakdown is a great one. Communication Breakdown.
Sorry, this is not Led Zeppelin, but do you know what song has been stuck in my head? Money for Nothing by Dire Straits.
Okay.
This whole episode, and I don't know why.
Money for nothing
nothing,
and your chicks
Just
for free.
Like,
All of
stuck
My
in my head.
Love is the other like big Zeppelin song, I
Yeah.
would say. All of my love. All
I
of
know that
my
one.
love. Yeah. So
Dare I say, looking at this, I would have switched September with Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Like I would switch 10 and 5. For my own
I would
personal
switch
thing.
10 and 4.
Let me rephrase this. I would switch 10 and 4. Well, hang on. Let me see how I need to make this better. I would switch Dancing Queen and Dreams. So I would put Dancing Queen at 5.
Mhm.
And then I would switch Dreams and September. So then September would be 4 and Dancing Queen would be 5.
I gotcha. Well, either way, Stairway to Heaven is number 3, and I'm giving it a 5.
5. It's classic. It's so good.
Coming in at number 2, we've got Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. Staying Alive.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
Alive.
Fun fact, did you know when you're giving CPR that is the beat that you
I
can
do.
go to?
I do know that. You could also go, never gonna give you up,
Never gonna let you down. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. We are
was
not CPR certified.
unsolicited
Please do not.
advice.
Go get CPR certified. I think that should be a requirement to be an American citizen.
I just wanted to rickroll everybody. That's just on me, guys. Staying Alive, everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the Bee Gees. Our Uncle Tim looks like
He
he
is
was
the
in the
Bee
Bee
Gees.
Gees. So
I'm gonna be honest though. I'd give it a 3.
yeah,
It doesn't do much for me. I'm like, that's cool. Like,
You
oh,
burn down by the way I want, yeah, give it a 3.
I'll give it a 3. It's fine. It don't do much. I have no idea what number 1 is.
You're gonna be surprised.
Am I really?
Yeah,
Do I know the song?
you sure do.
Ooh, cool.
But we've got some honorable mentions to get through first.
Cool, chill, guys. Don't worry about me over here.
So our honorable mentions are as follows as we get closer to number one.
Yeah.
I'm running out of things to say. There we go. All right. Coming in
Country
at number 10 on
roads,
honorable mentions, we have
Take me
Country
home.
Roads.
Is
by-
it not that?
It is.
I
by
love that song.
John Denver.
I love that song. I love that song so much.
You're an American.
It makes me like tear up a little how much I love that song. When I hear that song, I'm like, I feel at home. This is what America was built on. Country Roads by John Denver, 10. Anywho,
Number 9 on the honorable mentions, we've got the YMCA by the
3.
Village People.
I feel indifferent about that one.
Number 8, we've got Starman by David Bowie.
Never heard that song in my life.
Number 7, we have a classic, I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor.
We'll survive. Is it that one?
Mhm. That's the one.
10.
Coming in at number 6 on the honorable mentions, we've got Highway to Hell by AC/DC.
AC/DC is another one that I love.
I'm on a highway to hell.
Oh,
Do you remember that Family Guy episode where they go to the Amish, Amish
And make-
commune,
yeah, falls in love with the Amish boy.
and he shows them Highway to Hell. He puts the boombox on the ground and plays it, and he starts going, "I'm on the highway to hell" in
It's so
front
funny.
of the Amish. It's so funny.
Ah,
Family Guy, everybody, got to go watch. Coming in at number 5 on honorable mentions, we got Black Sabbath,
I
Ozzy Osbourne,
love
War Pigs.
Black Sabbath.
You don't, though. You love 3 songs by Black Sabbath.
I love 3 songs, but I love those 3 songs by Black
this
Sabbath.
song, Iron Man, and another one.
I do love Iron Man. What is the other one? You know what else I love?
Sure.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Again, you don't.
I
you
love
love
2
3 songs. 2 songs.
I love 2 songs. But
Godzilla and
what's the other one?
Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yeah.
Number 4 on the honorable mentions, we've got Ain't No Sunshine, Bill Withers. Great song. Ain't no sunshine.
Oh, love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our girl.
And then number 3 on the honorable mentions, we've got Jolene by Dolly Parton. Didn't realize that song came out in the 70s.
Why is there not a 2?
There were just too many and it didn't fit. So I was like,
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
number 1, your number 1 song from the 70s. Are you ready?
Yeah.
No guess.
No, I
0
literally, I
guess?
don't even know what the 70s are. Really?
We've got number 1, Queen.
Oh, okay.
Bohemian
Yeah. Oh,
Rhapsody.
absolutely. Should take the cake. I love Bohemian Rhapsody.
Fun fact, Queen, a 70s band. You forget how
You
many
forget.
songs came out from
But
Queen in the 70s.
I only care for about 3 or 4 of them.
Really?
Well, let's
Same
pull up
thing.
the list.
I was going to say same
Let's
thing.
pull
I
up the
don't
list.
think that's true.
Because I love Bohemian Rhapsody, of course. What's the other one? Don't Stop Me Now.
Don't stop
I
me now.
Learn to love that
'Cause
song.
I'm having a good
Good
time.
time, having a good time. I can play that on trumpet too, if anyone cares.
I want to break free.
I don't care for that one.
We Will Rock You.
Love We Will Rock You. So I love Bohemian Rhapsody. We
Another
Will Rock
one
You.
Bites the Dust.
Can I put these in separate categories though?
I guess.
We Are the Champions. We Will Rock You. And I'll even say what Don't Stop Me Now. I love playing on trumpet. So like the energy it gives when you're like in a pep band and you start playing these songs is unmatched by listening to it. Another one Bites the Dust and Bohemian Rhapsody I love to listen to. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Sure.
like, but the rest of these like
Somebody to Love. I mean, come on.
ooh,
Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
I'm going to say something controversial. I don't like the song Under Pressure.
I also don't like that song. I hate that song, actually.
I cannot stand that song, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I
You want
grew up-
Ice Ice Baby?
I want Ice Ice Baby, and dare I say, it's just better. Like Ice Ice Baby is just better than Under Pressure.
Let's go through this list real
Yeah.
quick because this is crazy. We Will Rock You,
Mhm.
obviously. We Are the Champions, obviously. Bohemian Amigos. That's the record store down
I
the road.
also keep almost saying Bohemian Amigos.
Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yeah.
obvious. Another one Bites the Dust. The
Yeah.
Show Must Go On is a great
Eh.
tune. I Want to Break Free.
I
Don't Stop Me
like that
Now.
song. I
And
like
then we've
5
got
Queen songs.
Killer Queen. Come on.
I have to.
She's a killer queen.
Oh, no, I do like that one.
Let's see here. Under Pressure sucks.
Is this
Radio
one?
Gaga.
You're my best friend. Is it that one?
Yes, that's
I
that
don't like
song.
that song.
You're my best friend. Mhm.
Eh.
A crazy little thing called Love. Somebody to Love.
I do like Somebody to Love.
Who Wants to Live Forever is a great sad song. Fat Bottomed Girls, man.
Oh, I forgot about that song. I forgot that was by Queen.
Flash's theme. Flash. Yeah.
Well, I still think it's crazy that my favorites for them is less than 10. Like, I think they have hits, but
Don't Stop Me Now should just be our theme song.
Don't Stop Me Now. I love that song.
Just that part, and then into the because we're
having a good time, having a good time.
That would get me pumped every time we play the show.
Anytime that I go on a run, that's the song that I listen to, and I'll listen to it like on repeat for like 10 minutes because it just gets me going. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Lindsay was obsessed with that song for a minute.
Yeah,
I forget why. We'll have
Probably
to,
the movie.
talk to her. No,
Oh.
I'll have to talk to her after this and remember. We would be in the shower and
Yeah.
she would just randomly start going because we're
having a good time, having a good time.
Anywho,
That's the show.
No,
that was a good list. I
was a
like
great
that.
list.
I love the 70s. I'm realizing. It's crazy that I knew more songs from the 70s than I did from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the past few times we've done these, I'm like, I don't know that song.
Yeah.
But,
I feel like
70s, I'm like, yeah.
well, I feel like we were getting to a point where all of the lists were running together.
Yeah.
It was like all the same songs
Yeah.
on every list, and I
Yeah.
just got tired of it. And I was
Especially
like,
from 90s to 2010s.
Yeah, I was like, I need something different. I
Yeah.
can't put My Chemical Romance on another list.
Can I? Oh, never mind. McKenna and I will have to do it. I want to do a Sabrina Carpenter list. Have I already done that?
No.
I went to-
Isn't this National Women's Month?
Yesterday was National Women's Day.
Yesterday was? Oh.
Yeah. She told Lindsay happy International Women's
I
Day.
will when we leave here.
I didn't know it was until Pre Malone texted me. I'm not going to air her business out on what happened yesterday. But Pre Malone texted me and said that she got her paper done and said that she was a MFing woman on National Women's Day. And I said, good for you, girl.
We are going to this month do a National Women's Month
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
I was thinking about getting you, McKenna, and Lindsay to do it.
Fun.
And I'll take the baby.
Yeah.
And you guys do
I
an
would
episode.
love that. And I will.
And you could do whatever you guys want.
Yeah.
It'll be a
Girls being
special
girls.
episode. We'll make it a 2-hour episode.
Love that.
Because I know you ladies are going to be chattering.
I wouldn't say that during National Women's Month. Honestly, though, McKenna and I could talk for hours.
So yeah, that's
fun.
everything. The 70s was a great one. This is
Great.
the list is
Give me
brought
some
to you
bell
by
bottoms.
Forbes. We do not have anything to do with this list. This was a Forbes list.
Sponsored by Forbes.
Let's check in on the poll real quick. One last time.
Can you guys put in the chat if it bothers you that we can't talk right?
Chat.
Where
you at?
It went down again. Dunkin is 75% and Starbucks is
Oh.
25.
Okay.
And that's on my personal story.
All right.
Now let's see what is up. 9 votes and then 3 votes. We love that. And then let's do.
Oh, shout out to Luke from the record store. He said it's Dunkin' all the way if you're not an average white girl.
I'm not average.
I am an average white girl, Luke.
It's now 70% Dunkin', 30% Starbucks.
Okay. Is that from ours?
Yes.
Tell me who my fellow Starbucks users are.
Okay, hang on, standby. Oh, ask me how many followers I have on Instagram.
I don't want to. It's embarrassing for the show. You have so many more than we do.
Only by 100.
That's crazy.
Isn't it? Let's see. William Edwards.
Okay. Shout out, Will.
James Elliott.
Hey, shout out, James.
I went to college with them.
Yeah.
And Jake Buss.
Shout out Jake.
So,
Thanks for being Starbucks girlies with me, guys.
are we not going to give a shout out to...
I guess we might as well, right?
It's Luke Mitchell.
Luke.
Dunkin. Shout out Luke. Pyro Raps.
Okay.
Did Duncan? Kevin Turpak. Tyrapak?
I'm gonna have to call Kevin after
Turpak?
this.
How do you say his last name?
Turpak.
All right.
Turpak, not cool, man. Not
Chris Urib.
Chris.
Jersey Shore.
Uribe.
That's how you say it, is Uribe?
Yeah, you know
Chris. I know Chris, but Chris, I'm so sorry. I had no idea that's how you said your last name. That's on me, dog. Love you though.
Yo, dog. That's my bad.
That's my bad.
Yo, that one's on me.
I love Chris. I miss Chris.
Me too.
Adolis.
Adolis went for Dunkin'?
Yeah.
Guys, what are we doing?
And then
I invited you into my home. We shared beers together.
is this Lindsay's Caitlin? It
Mhm.
is Lindsay's Caitlin. She voted Duncan. Shout out Caitlin. Love you. Oh, and myself, but I don't have to shout me out. That's
All
fun.
right.
Okay.
So
Okay, love you. Bye.
I think that is everything. Let me remove this so we can do our stuff. Is there anything that we missed? Is there anything? Either way, regardless of how everything went, shout out to the Starbucks crew that I deal with on a weekly basis. I think that they're great workers, and I think they do a fantastic job.
Shout out to the Dunkin' back in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you can't keep workers to save your life.
What's a reverse shout out?
An vocal internalization, maybe.
Everyone go.
Can we put
protest
the place in the blast, because it's awful.
Go protest the Dunkin' in Hampton, Virginia.
We literally didn't even get into that story, but when I tell you guys, I am a Dunkin' girly, and even I was like, what is happening? And the coffee, it's not good. This is the only Dunkin'. So here's the thing with Dunkin'. Sorry. The thing with Dunkin' is it's not consistent, right? And that's everyone's big thing. And I think that's your big thing too with their coffee. One, obviously, yes, it's not
besides
good.
the coffee quality.
Like the coffee quality, I agree, it's not the best, but I am also not drinking it for the coffee taste.
Which is
Do you know what I mean?
You hate yourself.
Anywho, I can do that without the coffee. It's always like I can order the same thing for a week, and 3 out of a work week, 3 out of the 5 of those days, it's not going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? But it's never, I have had very few where I'm like, oh, this coffee is gross. And I mean like less than 5 times in my whole life of going to Dunkin'. I've been like, oh, this is nasty. I'm not going to drink this.
Mm-hmm.
One time I went back through the drive-thru and said, hey, sorry guys, can you remake this? Like, I am not the biggest fan. However, the Dunkin' in Hampton,
Virginia,
not great. Like consistently we've gotten there. Like this is fine. You know what I mean? And they never have caramel, and that really does it for me. Like, what is up with that? 2, I do love the brown sugar. But like, it's never consistent, but it's also never consistently good. If that makes sense. And this is the only Dunkin' that I've had that issue with.
So I'm gonna, just because I'll be able to tell the story faster, I'm gonna just tell it really quick.
That's a dig on me. That's crazy.
It was. Yeah. We went to get coffee one day. And we're in there. First off, we sat in the drive-thru for like 15 minutes. Yeah. And then we get up to the window, and the guy hands me Taylor's coffee, Lindsay's coffee, and we're waiting on donuts. And he just goes, so the card machine's down. And I was like, okay. And he looks at me and goes, so I was like, well, I don't have cash. And she's already started drinking the coffee. What do you want to do here? Like
at that point,
are you gonna fix it?
And we ordered 3 coffees and a dozen donuts. Yeah. And one of those coffees was an espresso.
Oh yeah,
and it took them way too long to figure out how to do a shaken espresso.
I did forget that that's what we were waiting on. It wasn't the donuts. He gave us the donuts.
And then don't even get me started on the donuts. He gave us an assorted donut with 6 filled donuts. 6
of the same. Of the same
filling. Like this man has never filled donuts in his life, or never did assorted donuts.
Anyways, so we're sitting there, and he's looking at me like I have the answers on this credit card machine situation, and I just don't. And then he brings over somebody else to inform me that it's down. And I was like, okay, what are you doing to fix it? Like, where do we go from here? This transaction,
For
like,
real.
I'm not giving you the coffees back.
No, because they would have to throw them away anyway.
Yeah.
That's a waste of product.
And they were like, they're going to try and fix it. They finally get it up and going. And then I kid you not, we sat there for another 15 minutes waiting on my espresso.
Because they could not figure out how to do a
I
shaken
literally
espresso.
was like, I think they don't know what espresso is.
Yeah.
So
it was bonkers.
anyways,
It was bonkers.
that's our terrible Dunkin' story.
If you like today's episode, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can be notified every time we post a new video.
Yeah, check out we've got the Instagram with all the fun stuff. YouTube's got all kinds of fun stuff on it. We have a Patreon. We have a support the show link that is underneath of every show if you feel like it.
That's our charity.
The thing with the support the show, the reason I don't typically bring it up is because I hate asking you guys for money, but this show costs roughly $300 of my hard-earned money every month. And I love doing the show, but we don't have ads. We do that for you guys. You know what I mean? That's our gift to you. It is not having not subscribers. What is it? Supporters, ads, sponsors. So anyways, the support the show link, you don't have to, it's not something that you have to like go to a website and sign up. Like, you're not signing up for anything. You simply just put in your credit card information and put the donation amount, and you can choose to do one time or monthly. But it goes as low as $3 and as high as $10 a month. So
that's nothing. That's one coffee from Starbucks.
Literally, it's one coffee anywhere. $3 to $10 is what you're paying for coffee.
Dunkin' coffee is cheap, brother.
Still $3.
Oh yeah, I meant the $10. I meant the
$3 to $10.
Yeah,
so that's your coffee range. But either way,
yeah,
you don't have to. It's just something to consider. And on the Patreon, if you do decide to sign up, we have exclusive stuff over there, including recipes from Tasty Tunes, cooking playlists based off of the Tasty Tune episodes. All of our lists that we break down are on there. All of the games that we play, I have your own edited version of that game so that you can print it off and play it at home. And that's all of the exclusive content over there. And you can go over there and make suggestions. You can recommend lists. You can do all that good stuff. You can contact us. And if you're interested, on our website, I do have articles. If you're a reader, we do have articles over there for specific artists that have been on the show and some of their accolades and stuff. So it's been real,
accolades
everybody.
Is a fun word. It's been real.
And peace.
Thanks for listening to the Hook and Bridge podcast.